Hello and welcome. I'm Pauline from PQW and I'm very excited to introduce to you for the very first time our new QISS system. QISS with a Q, Quilting is so simple. We're going to teach you how to quilt without free motion quilting. Yes, we're going to do some beautiful quilting, but we will not be going anywhere near free motion quilting, but it will certainly look like it when we're finished. Then we're going to help you turn the quilt into a quilt as you go quilt. We're going to work block by block, making this beautiful blue and white exquisite quilt, we call it. But you have the option of making it in any colour choice that you would prefer to. We're going to give you a requirements list that you'll be able to download off our website by clicking the link below. You will get all the information of how much fabric you need, what notions you're going to use, what batting I suggest. Everything and anything to do with this quilt will be downloadable from the website. So we're going to take you on a beautiful journey and teach you so many different things that you may thought you could never do. And hopefully by the time we finish the course with you, you'll be able to look at most regular quilt patterns and be able to see how you can convert that to a quilt as you go quilt. We're going to quilt with our feed dogs up, our stitch length set to 3, and we're going to use the open toe foot. This would be the foot that we would use to do applique with. Now it's got nothing in the front because we're going to teach you how to draw the design onto each of your blocks. Then we're going to quilt on the line with control stitch length. Now the control quilting is so much different to free motion quilting. For those that don't understand free motion quilting, is we drop the feed dogs down on our sewing machine. We put the hopping foot on, and there's all different sorts of feet for free motion quilting, different for every brand machine. But once we put that hopping foot on and put our feed dogs down, our machine makes no stitch length. So it's quite intimidating for a lot of us that can't control the fabric under the needle, because if you don't have the needle going at the right speed with your fabric movement, you're not going to get even stitches. So learning my control quilting technique, you do not have to worry about any of the stressful things that are involved with free motion quilting. So we would love to have you come along with us, come on the journey, so we can kiss you and make it really easy for you to convert any quilt into a quilt as you go. Now I've got a lovely selection of fabrics. I'm working with a white background, and the requirements list will tell you how much fabric you need. It's about 3.3 yards or 3 meters. I've chosen to use batiks because I love them and I love the navy combination here. I've got 10 fat quarters that we're going to use for our sashings, our applique, bindings and all sorts of things. But you might like, as I said, you might like to have reds or greens or lots of different florals. You might like to have a floral background. That is entirely up to you. It's your choice of what you're going to put into your quilt. We're going to need our backing, the same amount of fabric that we use for our background, we'll need the same amount for our backing. Now I don't have my backing in one big piece because I couldn't buy it, I couldn't purchase it all the amount I needed in one big piece. So I've got 3 different pieces, 3 different lengths. But that does not matter because each individual block is going to be cut out separately. So it doesn't matter if it's in pieces. You may love to have different fabrics on the back of each block. If you've got a big stash in your supply, you might like to put a different fabric on the back of each block. Your choice will help you with a lot of things. I do recommend and use the Hobbs Heirloom double-sided fusible batting, 80% cotton, 20% polyester. Now I use this for a lot of reasons. Doing our quilts quilt as you go, we don't want the batting to stretch as we quilt each individual block. I found a lot of battings gave me a lot of grief in that area. Also, when we join the quilt together at each of the seams, we don't want bulk at the seams. So this is the ideal batting that I choose to use myself, and it's the one I highly recommend. And a queen size bag of this will be more than what you need to make the whole big quilt. We're going to work on 24 individual blocks. We're going to give you a cutting chart. Just get it out here. We're going to give you a cutting chart. Now these will be printed off as A4, but I've made them quite large so you can see them. We're going to be folding the fabric down the length, down the 3.3 yards. We'll fold it down there. We're going to cut strips off, then we're going to cut each individual block. Then we're going to cut the batting the same size and the backing the same size as the measurements on here. We're going to use a hot dry iron and iron the 3 layers together. Then we're going to use these little tabs down the side to pin these onto each of our individual blocks, because they're all different sizes, because the quilt's all different measurements with each of the blocks, so that you learn how to mix different measurements together so all your blocks are not going to be the same size. So I recommend you pin these on, and then once you've done that, we have the layout sheet where each of the blocks are going to go when we construct the quilt. We're going to put all of these together into units. We're going to join each of those blocks together with a different sashing, so all the sashings will be like a sample so that you can learn to do them all. Then we'll join each of the units together. We'll quilt the borders before we put them to the quilt, so it'll be an easy step by step. We're going to give you a variety of beautiful different quilting designs. Just got a couple here quilted up for you. We've got the tab on it so we know what block it's going to be and where it's going to sit into the quilt. We're going to advance you on to do beautiful curve shapes, and then we're even going to get you up doing beautiful feathers. So we've got some very exciting things to happen, so come on the journey with us. The next episode we're going to be cutting out the fabric, getting it all ready. I'll teach you a lot about cutting out and folding your fabric properly, and then we'll iron the layers up, and then third lesson we're going to start putting the quilting designs on and start the quilting process. So till next time, don't forget, click on the link below, go to our website, download all your instructions to start with. So bye for now.